Alright, today my talk is about my volunteering experience. I've been volunteering to work with children in the last 4 or 5 years. And it started about 4 years ago when I helped at a Sunday school. And I found that I really enjoyed my time hanging out with the kids. So I've been doing it ever since. I want to share with you some things about what I learned from them, what I learned working with other volunteers, and it's just a very different experience than what it is in ThoughtWorks, and I bring some of those experiences here. It started about October 2005. It was my 4th time coming as a Sunday school teacher, and I usually help in the 2nd grade as a teacher assistant. But that day we were lacking volunteers, so the leader came and said, Elian, why don't you help in the 3rd grade as a class leader? And I didn't know what to do, I was nervous, I didn't know the procedure. But then some students came to me and said, you're a new teacher, right? Here is how you do it. You first go to the Bible first, recite it for us. So the kid just told me everything, and then he said, like, you do this and you do that. So, you know, lesson number 1 is, don't underestimate these children. Like, they are just 3rd graders or 2nd graders. But they know their stuff, like they do it every week, and they can guide you to guide them the other way around also. So learn from these children also. Now, after I helped out at Sunday school for some time, I went into helping out at a 3rd grade school, doing art and science project every other Saturday. And Saturday morning at 10 a.m., I live in the suburb, I have to leave at around 7:30. It's very early morning. And I learned to drink coffee every other Saturday just to get pumped up in the class. Because if I say, all right, students, now we are going to do this experiment. Now they're all just going to yawn and not pay attention. But everything has to be exaggerated. You'd be like, what happened this weekend? You know, like everything. Like Jonathan did a very good example of that. Yeah, you have to ask like, oh yeah, did you like the activity you did last week? So you have to be extra pumped up. Now there's another experiment that we did in class, which is about oil and water experiment. So I brought a book about oil spills, and I told them some pictures. Oh, here is from oil spills and what happened in the oceans and stuff. And I asked them in front of them, you have a cup there with water. What happens if oil is poured into it? And the answers is, it's going to turn black, and it's going to explode. These are the 2 answers I got. And it's very interesting. And then a similar experiment I did is I brought a bunch of recycled materials, and I told them, make some robots. You know, not the robots that will walk around and stuff like that, but just robots stick by glue on like papers or something. And I thought, well, what if they just don't know what to do and stuff? But apparently they were creative enough. I didn't have to give rules or anything like that. So the lesson I got from them is really just don't give too much rules. Just give them the materials, tell them this is your goal, and let them explore their creative thinking. The other project I did was during Mother's Day. I was interested to also find an activity, and I thought, all right, these flowers are really nice for the mothers. Maybe I should try this project. But then again, I went into that mode of thinking, will they be interested? Will the boys do that? But apparently, one of the very few students who came in first to say, teacher, I really want to make these flowers for my mom, are the boys. So lesson number 4 is, in their mind, there's not much of like this is a boys thing or this is a girls thing. We should keep it that way. We shouldn't separate them into activities they are for certain kids, but let them try everything else. And the other thing I find interesting is they always come up to you and say, teacher, I want to help out. Can I distribute that? Can I give out that paper? Can I give out that pencil? Can I cut it? Take that as an advantage, actually. And so I always say, who wants to help me in this? Who wants to help me do this, or line people up and stuff? So lesson number 6 is share these responsibilities. Don't just try to do everything on your own. The class is like 40 kids. I can do it on my own. And of course, there are other volunteers. I should give them specific tasks, so they can lead their small groups, and I don't have to manage the whole class by myself. Once in a while, I will find some kids actually just sit down there and stay quiet and don't want to get to participate in activities, and sometimes they cry. So after I delegate all my tasks to the other volunteers and students, I would go there and approach the kids and ask what happens? And sometimes they will say my grandma is sick, or my dog is sick. And so you start into this conversation with them and let them know that you care about those. That's lesson number 6, is to show care. Tell them that even though they are alone on the corner and other kids are happily playing, that you want to go there and then talk to them and want to include them in the activities. Now, the other interesting thing I found is with the difference in the students' confidence level. I once tried to make them do some skits, and it's just very simple. Let's say you're in a cafeteria and there's a new student coming. Let's do a skit on that. What I found is that the boys especially are more confident than the girls. So they would just go out there and play, and sometimes too loud, I'd be like, okay, hold on, we stop right here. But the girls, especially these girls, she's so quiet, she's so shy. She would just stay in the front and she would do this. She was just so nervous, she wouldn't say a thing. But I learned that if I keep giving encouragement, I tell her, it's okay, you know this sentence, right? Just say it right here, near my ear. She would say it, and then the next time around, I will find her coming to me and say, teacher, I made this. And you feel very happy because she finally opened up to you. So if there is a takeaway from this talk, I would really say encourage, giving encouragement. It is said that a word of encouragement after a failure worth much more than an hour of praise after a success. Everyone needs encouragement, even for the small things. Those are everything that I've covered here, but I've learned a lot more from this process. I learned about myself that I'm actually not that patient, I get frustrated, but I learned to manage that. And working with the children is very exhausting, but I get some relaxation activities in the weekend, and I think it's a journey worth exploring.